LaxFeed, serving up stories from the lacrosse field. Brought to you by Lacrosse Magazine. Produced by U.S. Lacrosse. Duke Lacrosse. 4 years ago, those were dirty words in Durham. A stripper's false rape allegations, a district attorney's witch hunt, a university's knee-jerk reaction, a nation's scrutiny. The wounds are old, but the scars remain.
Part of it will always be with us, and part of it keeps us centered and balanced to realize, it's very fragile, what we do, and you can lose it in an instant. And some of the old feelings are still there, for a lot of people on both sides, but not for the students. The students have taught us, I think, all a great lesson about moving forward and forgiveness and just, living your life.
7 players remain from that 2006 team. 7 players recruited by Mike Pressler, who were in the locker room when he vowed that the truth would set them free, only to see him get unceremoniously fired. 7 players who know what it's like to have a season pulled out from underneath them, to see 3 teammates suffer through a very public trial, to have the world root against you. They are, as Lacrosse Magazine pegged them, the 5 guys. The Blue Devils' last class of 5th-year seniors, awarded extra eligibility by the NCAA in the wake of that canceled season. Sam Payton remembers the party that led to a perfect storm and lessons learned from it.
Yeah, there are regrets. I think everyone who's involved, in the catalyst for that year and that farce has regrets about that night, just because we put ourselves in a vulnerable situation, did some things which we certainly regret doing. But in terms of life lessons from that, I think, that wasn't a problem that could be solved in a couple hours, couple days, weeks. It took months and months of, kind of very proactively rebranding ourselves individually in the program and getting out in Durham, in our hometowns, going back to our hometown, speaking to friends, and meeting new people and just kind of propagating this new idea of who we are, because the myth that had circulated was we were this evil people, which was very tough to fight. And we've talked about, it's easy to believe that, easy to get caught up in hating Duke or in media hype or whatever it is. And so that was a problem that took months and years to kind of turn around. And I think that's a valuable lesson, that some problems can't be solved right away. They take years of diligence.
By the time Duke returned to the lacrosse field and the sordid details of a rogue prosecution by disgraced Durham DA Mike Nifong unfolded, the Blue Devils became everyone's favorite vindication story. On April 11, 2007, David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman were exonerated of all charges. Duke had a likable coach in Danowski, and a father-son story took center stage. Matt Danowski would win the Tewaaraton Trophy as the nation's top player, and John Danowski would lead his team as a respected coach and father.
I think Coach Danowski was the best guy for the job for a lot of different reasons, but most of all, just because he was the only coach in the country who was a father of the situation as well. Seeing what Matt had gone through, also being Matt's dad, having a relationship with so many guys on the team, kind of came in and it was a coach, but also a mentor, and in some ways almost a father figure, helping us through the situation. I think for him to come, being at a school like Hofstra where he was for so long, to come to Duke, to help us out and help us through the situation is something where, we all automatically, he had all of our faith and we all respected him, and, I think without a doubt he was the perfect guy for the job, and he's done a perfect job ever since.
Just put your hand on somebody. Here we go, on 3, team. 1, 2, 3.
But as John Danowski would say after an emotional loss to Johns Hopkins in the NCAA championship game, there are no fairy tale endings. The goodwill surrounding Duke lacrosse would subside 2 days after that loss when the NCAA announced a controversial decision to grant 33 players who were not seniors in 2006 an extra year of eligibility. Some openly criticized the NCAA's decision. It was okay to hate Duke again.
It is what it is, and I think that whatever happened in 2006 whatever those young men experienced, if getting an extra year, an opportunity to go to school, to get an education, and to play lacrosse, to be with their friends for another year, they're certainly, as far as I'm concerned, entitled to that. Some guys are going to leave with 2 degrees who made the best out of a very negative and a very bad situation, who made the best out of it. If people want to criticize the situation, the NCAA, the university, let them, but it's not about that. For us, it's about the individuals that were involved and that they're stronger, better people as a result of the experience.
The Blue Devils have made 3 straight Final Four appearances, only to come away empty-handed each time. Can Duke's 5th-year seniors deliver in their final chance?
I hope that our legacy is, in June of this year, we can look back and say, we probably hit the low of the program in 2006, and then the high of it in 2010. And, that would be an awesome story.
I think the thing for me that stands out is just the diversity of the players, the successful players, and the size differences. If you take the top 10 players in college today, you got guys that are 5'8" and dominating the game, and you got guys that are 6'4" and dominating the game. And I just think, it's so unique in that stick skills in lacrosse are so important, but once you master those stick skills, there's a position on the field for everybody, whether you're really slow, really fast, really big, really short. I think, and that to me is what makes it so unique and so cool.
UMass headlines this week's NCAA Division I Men's Lacrosse Coaches Poll, moving into the top 10 after big wins over Brown and Hofstra. The Minutemen are in Happy Valley on Saturday to face CAA foe Penn State. 5-time defending NCAA champion Northwestern reigns atop this week's Division I Women's Lacrosse Coaches Poll, but don't look past ALC rival Vanderbilt. The Commodores have won 6 straight and come in at number 10. It's looking like do or die for Hopkins. The Blue Jays have lost 4 of 5, and it doesn't get any easier with unbeaten UNC rolling into Homewood. Meanwhile, the top 2 teams in college women's lacrosse face major tests this weekend. Northwestern and Maryland are both on the road. The Terps visit Penn on Friday. The Wildcats are at Duke on Saturday. Follow the action this weekend and all season long at LaxMagazine.com.
You're on the cover of Lacrosse magazine. Ned's on the cover of Inside Lacrosse. Who looks better?
Well, I feel like my photo is more generic in that it just kind of represents the 5th-year guys, the whole team. So, and Ned has his helmet off in his, so I would look better. But no, we're both very good looking, so it's all fun. The camera loves me.
Let me tell you a little bit about, let's talk laps.